Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing a Magician Pendulum deck profile. This is actually the build that got me to the top 100 on Dueling Book for singles. So it's pretty consistent. I did build a side. I played a few matches with it. Obviously, I'm a little lower ranked on matches, so most of the decks down there didn't really stand a chance. Um, but yeah, this is what I used in singles. So this is a really good main deck for the meta, for True Draco, for Zodiac, stuff like that. This deck really holds its own, especially when it goes first. When it goes second, it really depends on your hand whether or not you're going to be able to deal with the Masterpiece or Dryden plus 3 back row. But occasionally it can deal with those, but when it goes first, it can really turn off True Draco and Zodiac. They can't really play through it like they can really play through most other decks. I actually got this deck in real life for about um, not main and extra. The main deck itself is only like I want to say $40. Half of it is the three duelist alliance. The extra deck, on the other hand, the links come in the starter deck. Castel is easy to get. Time Star is cheap. Trapeze is cheap. Utopia is cheap. The only expensive cards in here are Utopia the Lightning, Beals, and Tornado Dragon. Omega got its reprint, so it's not really expensive anymore. But let's get started on the profile. I have a couple cards in here to explain, not really too many other than that. Um, I'll also explain some alternate card choices that you can make if you don't have some of these cards, or if you want to play something better that you think would be more comfortable for you to play. So we start off with 3 Astrogast Sorcerer. This is pretty standard. It's a really good card to get your resources back, especially when someone tries to interrupt your play with a Ghost Ogre. You can just search another one and summon this card from your hand, so it kind of punishes them for hand traps. Oath Dragon at a 1 of is just really good for getting Harmonizing Magician out of the extra deck and back to your hand, because Harmonizing Magician actually can't be special summoned from extra deck. So when you add another one from your extra deck to your hand, you get to Pendulum Summon it again and use its effect and make a Synchro or Xyz play for free. So it's really nice to be able to play one Oath Dragon and pull it out with Pendulum Call or Wisdom Eye. One Luster Pendulum, you can summon it off of Ignister, and you can use it to pop something like Purple Poison and pop a card, kind of like Plush Fire. All of these cards are like Plush Fire, where they get their monster effect when they're destroyed in the Pendulum Zone, so it's really nice. 3 Fairy Tale Luna. The reason I play this over actually Apex Avion here, you can play either or. They basically function as the same thing, but I like to play Luna better in the main deck, just because it's really great against Zodiac, and you can summon multiples of Luna. So like you can normal summon a Luna and add another Luna to hand, so you can then Pendulum summon the second Luna. So you have 2 Luna on field. When if it was Avion, you could just Pendulum summon the 1 Avion and be done with it. Luna is also another good card to draw out Ash Blossom or a Ghost Ogre when you normal summon it to add another Luna. Sometimes your opponent won't be able to deal with 2, and they'll actually just get rid of it altogether with Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre. So it's really nice to be able to draw out some hand traps, maybe some effect negations like a strike or something. It's just much more effective at drawing those out than Apex Avion is on turn 1. 3 Skull Cravat Joker, that's standard. 2 Black Fang. You don't need more than 2. This is basically an emergency card for its pendulum effect, but it's also really nice that it's a recursion card as well. It's kind of that late game fallback. 1 White Wing Magician, just because you want one more tuner, basically. Its effect in the Pendulum Zone can also come in handy every once in a while. When your opponent tries to target a Dark Spellcaster, you can negate it and then destroy it. 3 Wisdom Eye. It's pretty standard. This can become any of the magicians in the deck. 3 Double Iris Magician to search out your Pendulum Graphs. It's probably the best one because it can just trigger itself whenever it wants, whenever you control a Dark Spellcaster. So you can just search whenever you want. But you can't do it on turn 1. A lot of new Magician Pendulum players don't know that. You cannot use this on turn 1 just because you don't get your battle phase, you can't do battle damage, all that good stuff. You also can't use it in main phase 2. 3 Purple Poison. This card is ridiculous. When you pop it with anything, you get to pop a card in your opponent's side of the field that's face up. And it can also come in handy in your Pendulum Zone and make your monster gain 1200. This actually happens even if your monster isn't battling a monster. Double Iris requires you to be battling a monster to do double damage, so Purple Poison's kind of better for battling in that aspect. It's easier to OTK with Purple Poison. 3 Harmonizing Magician, this card is busted. Whenever it's Pendulum Swarm from the hand, you pull out another Magician and sync up with it, or you can Xyz with it. Triple Gofu, this is an incredibly good card because you either draw on a strike or any other card that could cause problems, you draw it out, or you get a free decode talker. Either way, it's ridiculous. A lot of people make the mistake to strike the Gofu, and I'm just sitting there wondering, like, why would you not wait and strike the decode talker? Because, like, they'll be wasting their link spiders and stuff. I don't know. So if you've been striking Gofu all your life, just wait for the decode talker because people will play 3 Gofu. They don't play 6 link spiders, so they can't do it more than once. And then this is my personal choice to play 1 Performer Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. This is really nice to be able to search off of Duelist Alliance on turn 1 and pop your double Iris Magician with, just because Iris can't pop itself on turn 1 to search your trap. So instead of just going straight from Duelist Alliance to your trap card for turn 1, you can Duelist Alliance, add Pendulum Sorcerer, and then summon it, pop your Iris, add a Joker, and then you get to also add the trap. So instead of going from Duelist Alliance to trap, you get a free Sorcerer and Joker. So it's really nice to be able to do that, just to have more options. That's why you only run it as a 1-up as well, because your only target for its effect is Joker. So as soon as you run out of Joker, Sorcerer can't be activated again. And obviously the max you can pop with its effect is 1. But that's all you really need to pop. 3 Duelist Alliance. Oh, this card is insane. It's a free search for any of your Pendulum graphs. You can also search Luster Pendulum or Performer Pal Pendulum Sorcerer, which is just so insanely nice. 3 Pendulum Call, also searchable by Duelist Alliance. This is self-explanatory. 2 Pendulum Graph, each of them, Star and Time, they go together. We'll go to the extra deck first. We have 1 Ignister, 1 Omega, 1 Enlightenment Paladin. This card is pretty nuts to be able to go into turn 1 because you can add a Duelist Alliance or a Pendulum Call from your graveyard back to your hand, which is kind of nuts. It's also good because it burns your opponent, so it's useful for OTKs. Beals is the nuts against True Draco. They really don't have an out to this unless they keep halving its attack and then beating over it. So if you can get rid of the trap card before it resolves like 4 or 5 times, they really can't get over this card for much of what it's worth. This is the most expensive card in the extra deck. It's actually, I think it's around $20 right now. It's shot up just because it's so good against True Draco and it's only ever had 1 printing. I need to pick one up myself next time I'm at locals. 1 Scarlight. This card's situational, but it comes up every once in a while. 1 Lightning and Utopia. Trapeze Magician. I don't really summon this ever. It's kind of a just in case. In case I'm in a bad spot with life, I can summon it into defense, and then I never take damage. Kind of depending on if I have monsters stuck in attack or I want to be able to attack without worrying about losing. So I'll summon Trapeze and kind of saves me from that. It's kind of really situational. 2 times Star Magician. You're basically summoning this when you use Harmonizing Effect and searching Astrograph Sorcerer most of the time. Tornado Dragon, Castell, Decode Talker, and 2 Link Spider for the Gofu. Pretty self-explanatory in the extra deck. For the side deck, I actually got this one from House of Champs. I net decked the side deck completely just to try it out because I'm not too great at side decking. It's an art to be able to side deck properly, especially in a meta that's changing so frequently. So you got Dogoron, the Mad Flame Kaiju, 1 Gamma Seal, 1 just I don't know how to say his name. It's a Star Destroying one. The Sticky String Kaiju, Maxi, 2 Chaos Hunter, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Slumber, and 3 Unending Nightmare. And that's pretty much the deck. It's super consistent and it's really good. I highly recommend that you try it out. It can hold its own against the current meta, so if you're a budget player looking for an option for the next few months and a safe investment, it's this. So that's about it, and see you next time.